Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the NECA Predator Series Jungle Disguised Dutch figure. Now get a good look at this guy here in the packaging. Since they first showed it off, I have been dying to get my hands on this guy. It's an absolutely amazing looking figure in the packaging. Of course, from the finale of the very first Predator movie. He comes with his bow, a spear, what looks like multiple arrows, and of course a very nice lit torch accessory. So on the back of the packaging here, you can see the other characters in this series, which were of course the Water Emergence Predator, Dutch with just his vest on, and of course this one. If you'd like to get a look at the read-up, it's right there. You can pause it and read it yourself. That being said, I've waited long enough on this guy. Let's open him up. And here we have Jungle Disguised Dutch out of the packaging, and this is just this is probably the best detail on a figure I have ever seen that isn't a Hot Toys figure. Now, on a side note, I don't think I've got the arrows in here right because they're hanging out all retarded. So, they just kind of dangle here, so there's no real way to keep them straight. So that's unfortunate, but it's paled in comparison by that. Now, I did get the accessories a little bit wrong. He comes with his spear, 3 arrows, his bow, his torch. And I haven't seen the ending of Predator in a while. I'll probably go back and rewatch it after this review. Both of these. Of course, which I'm not going to take a guess at what these are because I think I remember, but I don't want to be wrong because people will just delight in correcting me for the rest of eternity. This video is on YouTube. But the sculpt on these is phenomenal as well. Just, that really looks like it was a branch somewhere out in the jungle. Now, not to be outshined by Dutch, who is just amazing. I mean, the texture, the leaves, the mud, that is astounding detail. I love the lit torch in his hand. He's got a little bit of blood on his lip right there. Oh, lost focus. I mean, you can see where the point of the spear was a knife blade. NECA Toys brings their A game every time, which is why they're my favorite toy company. Oh, you just gotta love that. Now, his bow is also very nicely detailed, which let's get the spear out of his hand and slip the bow up over his head. The string, I don't know if that's a cloth or a real soft plastic. I can't quite tell. But you can see right here the little notch the arrows go through. The arrows are all nicely detailed. But I guess the whole idea is just to put them in here in a way that they keep each other straight, which they don't seem to want to do. But the bow is very nice. You know, it's got a little bit of give. You can put it in his hand, pose him like he's, well, let's actually try that. I said you could pose him like he's pulling an arrow back, but that might be a little difficult. And get that in his hand. Get one of the arrows out of the makeshift quiver. And I know a lot of people are remember the final fight much better than I do. I haven't watched Predator in about a year, like I said. But yeah, you can see you can even notch the arrow and the string goes back a little bit. Not to say it wasn't more than enough from NECA, but maybe a hand you can actually fit the arrow into, because I've seen them do that with the Katniss figure from the Hunger Games before. That would have been nice, but you can still kind of fake it yourself here. It just doesn't look as great as it could have. Pulling the bow back out, which is a little bit stiff. I still can't get over how good this figure looks. He's also got his little pouch down here. Now, as far as his articulation, his head does a full 360, up and down. Arms are on a ball joint, go out to here, do a full 360. Bend and spin at the elbow. Spin at the wrist. Also, they got a little bit of back and forth. I don't know if that's purpose or it's just looks like it's a little mini ball joint. That's kind of cool. Now, there's actually a surprisingly well-hidden torso joint, well, admin joint. He spins at the waist, although it's very slight. Legs go out to here, back to about here. Knee bends and spins. And his ankles are on the same kind of joint as the wrist. Kind of allows a little bit of a pivot, some back and forth. Very nice. So at the time of making this video, these have been out for a little bit. It took me a while to find them at my local Toys R Us. This is probably the most wanted one out of the wave. because that other Dutch is just kind of a variation on the ones they've released beforehand. Water Emergence Predator, I'm considering getting him because I hear they've redone the articulation since they first released the Jungle Predator. Not 100%, but this is one I just couldn't bear not owning. This figure is amazing. If you're a Predator fan and you haven't been collecting this line, you are definitely missing out. As I've already said, and I can't stress this enough, this is just superb detail. I do have some little gripes with the figure. I wish he would have, you know, I feel like I'm doing it wrong with the bow, so I'm not really going to fault them on that. And you can get it to where it looks decent. I hope I didn't stretch the hand out too much with the putting the bow in there. But this is just astounding. All these extra accessories, which I'm sure I'll appreciate more after I go back and watch the last fight in Predator again. But 17 bucks this is running you. That's an insane price for the amount of detail NECA put into this, as they do most of their figures. A lot of accessories. This is just a must-own figure for anyone. And that being said, this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.